Hello friends, Wobblerocket here. We are back in Rice, repetitive indie combat experience. I've played a couple of rounds of this game and I've kind of gotten a little bit more familiar with it. We unlocked a new hat called Arbitary. This is going to change our playstyle a little bit. We'll get 2 medals per card that we pick, but we're only going to get 1 card instead of 5. So it should make things a little bit more reliant on luck, but it can also mean that we can get some really cool power built up. I've learned a little bit more about how some of the systems interact. So hopefully this run will go a little bit more smoothly than the run in my my first video. First priority is going to be getting a couple of additional weapons. Nothing that I really want though. I'm really looking for the fireball staff or the shotgun or the gravity staff at this point. And look, we've got all 3. I'm going to go for the fireball staff because I think that's going to be the one that gives us the most benefit in the long run. Okay, so something that I've learned since the last video. You have 2 statistics called Verdant and Depraved. Verdant and Depraved oppose each other. So if you take cards or medals that have Verdant, it's going to penalize your Depraved. Verdant focuses on healing. So the higher your verdancy, the better you're going to heal. Depraved focuses on maximum health. And in this case, because of the upgrades that I've already gotten, I've already got a lot that are set on Depraved. I don't want to take this heal pulse because if I do, it's going to shut down the additional maximum health that I'm getting. So we're going to skip that card. See what we get now. These aren't quite what I wanted, but I think we're going to go for the gun. The gun is really great at damaging planetoids because it has very, very high damage. Okay, let's grab fireball staff again so that we can start upgrading that. Alright, so see here we've got a Depraved card, and this is going to increase our maximum hit points and heal us by 200 hit points. These glowing bushes that you'll see actually drop a golden medal, and unfortunately in this case it's a pretty bad choice because again this is a Verdant card. It would knock out all of our maximum health, so I'm going to skip it, which feels bad because that's the only time that we'll get one of those in this run. Okay, so we've got an upgrade to our fire staff. That's going to push it to tier 2. At tier 2, the fireball staff gains additional range. Okay, let's start upgrading our gun. Because at tier 2, it gets double damage. And there we go. Getting pretty lucky there. So I'm going to grab another fireball staff. I'm not terribly worried about critical hit in this build. I've got some cards that are focused on fire damage, so we start off with a pretty decent boost to flame. See, I'm getting all kinds of verdancy cards this time, and really kind of working against me that I already picked the Depraved cards on the meta progression board. There's another one. and I don't want Frost because we're going for Flame. So we're getting some pretty bad choices right now, and unfortunately that's just the way it goes sometimes. hopefully we'll be able to make up for that later on in the run. Gain some attack speed there. Our best choices are going to be any kind of card that gives us piercing or gives us bounce. Because what that's going to do is it's going to massively increase the radius of our fireballs. Swap that out. We'll drop our sword. Okay, weapon fires a second time. That's a really, really good one. So what we're going to do, this is an attach only card, which means that we have to attach it to a weapon. We're going to stick one on this staff right here. And we're going to go ahead and stick one on this rifle. That'll help with the slow cooldown on the rifle. It'll also help with the coverage of our fireballs. An additional weapon slot, that's good. Run up to a couple of these stars and start picking up some things to fill those weapon slots. We're going to go for the shotgun. That's going to help spread our fire to more enemies. Okay, go ahead and start working on upgrading that. Alright, there's the upgrade to our shotgun, which is going to pretty greatly increase the attack speed of it. Let's start working towards the next level on our shotgun weapon. All right, so here's another Depraved card. That's going to help us out. It's going to increase our maximum health. Desperation actually does give us some regeneration, but only whenever we are below 50% health. Every time we pick up heavy hits, we do take a hit on our projectile speed, but it does increase our projectile size, which is very good for our fireballs. And we've been picking up quite a few of those, so although our projectile speed is getting pretty slow, unfortunately what that means is the range on our shotgun is very, very low right now. On the other hand, if something is fairly close by, it does get hit by several of those fireball projectiles. I could really use some gravity right now to start making it a little bit easier to pick up these experience orbs. All right, there's some more weapon slots. Run up here and get this star, and then we'll try to take out these other couple of planetoids here. Okay, we can keep working on our rifle. Increase our projectile lifespan a little bit. Okay, so we now have 2 rifles. If we get one more, we'll be able to upgrade that to another weapon. So I am going to go ahead and grab this extra fireball though, because that's going to give us a second tier fireball staff. Grab some extra damage. Another verdancy card that we don't want, and another frost card that we don't want. Alright, we destroyed the sun, so this is a really, really good upgrade for us. 16 additional fire damage per half second, and that's going to be doubled, so we're going to get a huge increase to our flame bonus. Obviously, we don't want the verdant card. This is a pretty good one, Scarf. That's going to increase our critical hit chance, which again is not something I'm super worried about, but any little bit of critical hit chance is going to be nice. And going into the second run, obviously the further we push, the higher the difficulty goes. We'll see what we can do here. Start pushing on that rifle so that we can get up to the next level on it. Aim with our fireball. Alright, that should be what we need for the third level. That gives us the revolver. The revolver shoots 8 times in a row. It does have a pretty slow cooldown though. It has a 6-second cooldown, but that extra echo on it is going to mean that it's going to fire twice, so it'll fire 16 shots in a row when it does trigger. Chance. Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're going to move this from aiming at the nearest planetoid to aiming at the enemy with the highest hit points. And then we'll put shotgun on nearest target. And we'll put that on group middle. That way our largest fireball will be hitting the middle of the enemy packs, and anything that has particularly high hit points will just get decimated by the revolver's ridiculously high damage. Alright, and there we go. We don't want frost. We just upgraded our fireball staff to spark ball. This has the nice ability of shooting out sparks. Unfortunately, this is something I wasn't too keen on, didn't really know that was going to happen. We lost our... No, we didn't. Okay. It gave it back to us. I thought for a second we had lost our echo. But apparently if the weapon that it's attached to gets merged into another one, it just has the effect of going back and needing to be reattached. So that's not too bad. Alright, we really need to start stacking up some more weapons, so let's try to kill as many of these planetoids as we can so we can get some more firepower. And grab another shotgun so we can start trying to get tier 3 on it. I feel like we could have a lot more levels if we could just get one of those gravity staffs. A ton of experience dropping, but unfortunately my pickup radius is so small that I almost can't get to it. Another Depraved card, that's good. Verdant we don't want. We are going to take that extra damage, but before we do that, we're going to swap our staff and our shotgun so that we can aim a little better at enemies. Grab the gun. Shotgun. Some additional attack speed or projectile speed. That's brought the range of our shotgun back up, which was something we sorely needed. Okay, Bloodlet. I'm not entirely certain how this mechanic works. It says that you rapidly take 1 damage while poisoned. Each point of damage cures 2 poison. So if I'm reading that correctly, what it does is it turns damage from poison into a sort of regeneration. Frostbite. Okay, so let's grab guns. That's going to give us another rifle. Don't want heal pulse. We do want damage. Flame is always good for us. And more desperation is always good because it increases our depraved stat, which increases our maximum hit points. Here and pick up this star. Fireball. We can get one more shotgun, then that should upgrade our shotgun to tier 3. At that point, it should start shooting out grenades as well. So many verdancy cards this run. I'm really surprised by the drop rate on those. Never seen that many of them drop in one run, and it would happen to be the time that I have a bunch of depravity cards that I'm going for. Gotta get as much of this experience as possible. Our critical hit chance is 21. So what this is going to do, it is going to decrease the regeneration that we get, and I believe that does count for the regeneration from desperation. But it does mean that we're going to start stealing health every time that we critical hit. This would be better if our crit chance was higher, but because it does increase our depravity, I think it's still going to be a worthwhile pick. We just want to be careful and make sure that we don't grab too many of them so that we lose our desperation regeneration. damage. It's always good. There's our last shotgun, and that upgrades us to scoped shotgun. So yeah, this now launches grenades. Pushing on fireball. And let's grab the black hole staff. I don't think our black hole is going to do a lot for us because we have not picked up any gravity upgrades this entire run, but we'll see what it does. Once there starts being a ton of enemies on the screen, gravity is just a really good crowd control weapon. It has a tendency to pull things in, and it packs them up into one spot so that they're a little bit easier to deal with. Alright, bloodlet damage cures an additional poison, so that's going to help out with that. Some knockback. Knockback is good for our shotguns, or not for our shotguns, but for our rifles and revolver, because they increase the number of times that weapon will pierce enemies. Gains a halo which revives you once. You can now draw halos. That is definitely something that we've needed, because we are getting somewhat close to death there. Okay, let's get some more size. All right, we are going into our third stage on this. Things are going to get pretty difficult here. I'm worried that the number of bad draws that we've gotten are going to make it pretty difficult for us to progress any further than this run. I'm not sure though. We'll see what happens. Yep, and there we go. The damage ramps up considerably. Okay, our halo picked up, so that's good. But we're just not doing enough damage at this point to keep up with things. Yeah, and there we go. Apparently we had another revive of some kind. If we can get out of this pack, nope. Nope. Third time's a charm. What? Oh. Okay, I forgot that halos are doubled because we have the Arbitary app, so we actually had more revives than I thought we did. Not that it's helping us much. Oh, okay, and there we go. That was the end of our run. I wish we could gotten some better card choices. I'm definitely going to be playing more of Rice Competitive Indie Combat Experience. I really like the Arbitrary hat, which doubles the cards that you get, but you only get to choose one. I like that play style. It is a little bit more luck dependent. I think I'm going to have more fun playing with it though. My name is Wobblerocket. I'll catch you around.